First of all, you need to have 4 paragraphs, okay? 4 paragraphs. So I can only see 3 paragraphs. Can you remember what pot stands for, Kian? Pot, P-O-T.
Well, what?
Pot. Can you remember what that stands for?
P-O-T?
Yeah. Can you remember what we use it for in relation to this exercise? Can you remember? Okay, I'll remind you. So P stands for, this helps you remember what paragraphs to write, okay? So the P stands for paraphrase. So your first sentence is also a paraphrase, which you have sort of done here, okay? The O, can you remember what the O stands for in pot? So P is paraphrase.
No, I can remember O of
okay,
that one.
O is overview. Overview. Okay, so your second paragraph always has to be an overview, meaning what is the main feature of this graph? Okay, does that make sense? Does that make sense, Kian? Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yeah, does that make sense?
Con có hiểu không hả Kiên?
Có. Mà cái mic của con thì phải dí sát vào mồm con mới nói được.
Thì dí sát vào đi thì nói tóm lại có hiểu không thì make sense, thì có hiểu thì nó chỉ là yes or no thôi, trả lời vậy.
Có. Yes, teacher.
Okay, Mrs. Ha.
Yes, hello.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you.
Oh, good. You've come up under Paula's name.
Yes, because he borrows my account to have a conference on Zoom.
Right. Okay. No, sorry, I didn't realize you were there. I thought it was Paula. Yeah, I was surprised. I'm thinking, why is Paula here?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. How are you? Mrs. Ha?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Okay, so I was just talking to Kian, just making sure that he can see and hear me okay, because I'm using my phone as a hotspot here at the Bangkok house, because they have no internet.
Oh.
My brother never bothered to get the internet connected. He said he doesn't use it. He just uses his phone. He just uses his phone all the time. So
yes.
Okay. So you can see and hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
That's great. Okay, thank you, Mrs. Ha. Okay, hello, Kang Ling.
Hello, teachers.
How are you?
I'm still good. How about you? How was your trip?
Good. Well, I'm still on my trip. I'm still in Bangkok.
Oh, so did you try any food or cuisine in Bangkok?
Sorry, Kang Ling, I didn't hear that.
Some food, right?
Some food.
Yeah, food, yes.
Oh, some food. Oh, plenty of food. The maid here has left me, they have a maid here, left me a lot of fruit. I will show you. I'm sure you recognize a lot of this. Okay. Have you seen this, Kang Ling?
Yes, I've seen it before.
Okay. And this one?
Yes, rambutan.
Rambutan, yes. Yes, she left me a lot of fruit to eat. And also she turn on the fan because it's hot here, like Hanoi. Yeah. But of course the fan is blowing everything around. So I'm trying to hold everything down. But yeah, it's good to talk to you at your time of day, Kang Ling. Okay, now I'm same time as you. Okay, who else is here? So I have Kian is here and Kang Ling is here. Down. And Noktu. Can you hear me, Noktu?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Can you turn your camera on, please? Thank you, Noktu. Good to see you. And Tran Bao. Hi, how are you?
Con bật mic lên con ơi, Bảo ơi, bật mic lên.
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And who else? Bao Ling. Hi, Bao Ling, how are you? Good. I can't hear you very well, Bao Ling. Can you turn up your microphone, please, a little bit?
Yes, maybe my internet have a problem.
It's when you lean closer, I can hear you better. Okay. Trami. Hi, Trami.
Hi, teacher.
Hi, can you hear me? Can you hear me okay? Okay, good. That's great. All right. So as I was just explaining to some of the others before some of you came online, I'm now in Bangkok. So, and I'm doing this through my phone. So I hope this is working okay. I hope it will work okay for the rest of the lesson. All right, everyone. So we will get started. So welcome to class for this morning. I hope you have all had a good couple of weeks, and I hope you've all had a chance to get some rest over the last couple of weeks and haven't been working too hard. So thank you to all of you who sent me your assignment over the last couple of days. We will look at those very shortly, and I will go through and correct some of the mistakes you have made. Some of the mistakes you have made, I can tell you now, some of them are simple ones, just like spelling and grammar, which are easy to fix. Some of them are a little more structural. For example, remember for this task, you always need to write how many paragraphs, Kang Ling? For writing task 1, how many paragraphs?
3,
No, not 3. How many?
4.
4, yes, always 4. Always 4 paragraphs, always. Okay, some of you have only written 3. So please remember, always 4 paragraphs. Fung Ni, hello, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Fung Ni, can you remember, we use pot to help us answer writing task 1. Remember, we use pot. What does pot stand for?
What stand for P is a paraphrase, O is overview, and T is two details.
2 detail paragraphs. 2 detail paragraphs. Very good, Fung Ni. You remember. So, Kang Ling.
Yes.
Okay, so please remember pot when answering writing task 1, always, okay? Remember P stands for paraphrase, O is for overview, and T stands for two detail paragraphs.
Okay.
Okay, so you have paraphrase, overview, 2 detail paragraphs, of course, equals 4 paragraphs, always. Okay, so everyone, anyway, we will look at this in just a moment, but please, this is a mistake a lot of you made. Some of you only wrote 3 paragraphs. You must have 4 paragraphs for this question. Always 4. Okay, so let's have a look at today's lesson. Oops, not that one. We will come to that in just a moment. This one. We are going to start with, you might remember, just to warm up, we are going to start with the word ladder game. I think you all remember how this works. If you don't, I'm sure you will remember very soon when we do it. Okay, so because last time you found this very easy, the 3-letter one, I've changed it to 4 letters, Okay, so the first one you have to get from beat to deer, And remember, you have to change just 1 letter at a time, only 1 letter. And the word must always make sense. So please answer to me in chat. So, Fung Ni,
Yes.
can you go first, please? Okay, so please, in chat, all right, in chat, write for me a word. Do you know what to do? Can you remember what to do, Fung Ni?
Sorry, I don't understand.
Okay, All right, I'll send this to everyone. It's okay. So everyone in chat, if you go into chat, you can see I have written the first word, which is beat. So try me. Do you remember what to do?
Yes.
Okay. So just watch. Phung Ni, you will remember. Okay, bear, bao ling. Hello, bao ling.
Bảo Linh ơi, bật mic lên đây con.
Okay, let me think.
Okay.
Okay, bao ling. Remember, you can change only one letter. Aha, bao ling, you have changed 2 letters.
Yeah,
Okay, you changed 2 letters. Can only change 1 letter. Can only change 1 letter. Okay, good, bao ling. That's better. Okay, Tran bao. So you have to type another letter into chat. Type another word into chat so we can all see. Heat. Good. Okay. Knock 2. Knock 2. And if you have forgotten how this game works, everyone, remember deer is our target word. We are trying to make this word by changing these words 1 letter at a time. So this is our target word. Knock 2. Sorry.
I miss
Thank you. Knock 2. Feet. Okay, that's good. Okay, so Kang Ling. Kang Ling, you are next.
I think maybe this one.
Yeah. Good. Kang Ling. Very good. Okay, so Kian. Hello, Kian.
Bật mic lên sẵn đi con ơi.
Okay, so
thầy kêu là kiểu ấy vào trong chat mà.
okay, so Kian. Sorry, Mrs. Ha, what were you saying?
Yeah, no, doesn't matter.
Okay. So Kian.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can see what Kang Ling has written here, fear.
Okay.
Okay, and this is our target word. Okay, so what should you turn fear into? What letter can you change in fear to make our target word? Yes, correct. Okay, good. Okay, so that's good, everyone. So we got there in the end. Excellent. Okay, so one more. We'll try this again. Phung Ni, do you understand how the game works now?
I think yes.
Okay, I think so. Okay, so book is our starting word and work is our target word. So I will put book in here. Okay, Phung Ni, your turn. And remember, you can type any word, but you can only change 1 letter and it must be a real word. Okay, but that is the only condition. Apart from that, you can type any word. Any word is fine. But hopefully the word you choose will get us closer to our target or destination word. So Phong Ni, there are lots of words to choose from here. Just pick one. There are lots of words you can think of where you could only need to change one letter to make a word. Can you think, Phong Ni?
Các con ơi, bạn nào mà nếu mà thấy bí quá thì bảo là xin lỗi là tôi không nghĩ được ra nhá. Cho nó nhanh đỡ mất thời gian nhá. Ok. Bảo là nó xin lỗi thì thầy gợi ý luôn thôi. Chứ nếu bởi vì mình đã không nghĩ ra thì mình có nghĩ nữa mình sẽ không ra được á. Nó sẽ bị mất thời gian hơn á.
Sorry, teacher, I have no idea.
No idea.
Yes.
I'm sure you do, Phong Ni. I'm sure you do. So there are many words. So what about a word like this? Okay, I'm sure you will get the idea very quickly. Tuk is a word. Look. What else? So many words you can change by getting just one letter. Okay, so those are just 3 examples. Can you see what I mean now, Phong Ni? Can you see what I have done? All I've done is change one letter in book. I've changed one letter to make 3 different words. See what I have done? So instead, for example, for the first one, I've changed the B in book to a T. So I've made it took. For the second one, I've changed the B to an L. I made it look. And for the third one, I've changed the K to an M and made it boom. Okay, so hopefully everyone will get the idea now. Try me, please. Try me.
Yes.
Just choose any word. Try me. Okay, try me is boot bao ling. Okay, sorry, maybe you couldn't see my examples before. Now you can. Okay, Bao Ling, any idea? We have to go faster with this game.
Yes, I choose boom.
Okay, you choose boom. Okay, have to go quickly now. Pram bao. Okay, I'm going to put thank you, Tran Bao. Room. Good. Okay. Knock two. So I'm going to put a time limit on this now, okay, so we can go a bit faster. Thank you, Knock two. Loom. All right, so 10 seconds. Everyone has 10 seconds, otherwise I'll go to the next person. Kang Ling.
It's become harder. Maybe.
So we've had boom, room.
Ling.
We are trying to get to work, remember?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you think of one quickly? Otherwise, I'll just keep going around everyone.
This one?
Doom. Okay, that's a word. Good. All right. Kian. 1, 2,
Well,
3.
Can I what about can I start again that word book, right?
You can't start again. You have to keep going.
Just continue that.
Yeah, just continue. Just continue. Yes, you can't start again. Just continue. Okay, 10 seconds is up. I go to the next person. Phong Ni.
Nhi ơi.
Bong ni, dorm. Okay, tra mi. Worm. We're getting closer. Okay. Bao ling. Good. Bao ling. Work. Excellent. So good work, everyone. Okay. So that's enough time for that, I think, for this exercise. But this is good. This gets you just to start thinking about more English words. Okay. And helps you warm up. All right. Are there any questions about that? Hopefully now you all understand how the game works. And next week when we do this again, I will make sure it goes a bit faster, I think. Don't want to spend too long on this. So I will limit everyone's thinking time to 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Viet An. I see you have joined us. How are you, Viet An?
Hello, teacher. I'm good. Nice to meet
Good.
you.
Good. That's good. Okay, everyone. So now quickly, I'm going to go through everybody's task 1 assignment. Those of you who have sent me the task 1 assignment, and I won't go into too much detail in this case, because you're going to be doing this assignment again very shortly, different topic, but the same assignment. Same sort of assignment, task 1, but I will just go over the main mistakes that people have made. And please, everyone, can you listen to this as I go through each one, because I'm sure you will learn something from what the others have done. So, Viet An, yours is first. Can you see the screen, Viet An?
Yes, I can see.
Okay, good. So, firstly, Viet An, you have done the 4 paragraphs, which is good. So again, I remind everyone, this answer must have 4 paragraphs, always 4 paragraphs. Okay, so the first paragraph is a paraphrase. So what you have done, Viet An, okay, you need to change this sentence. You need to paraphrase it, okay? Viet An, what you have done, you have just copied. You have just copied what the title is, but you need to paraphrase, all right? You need to say what the title is, but using different words. All right. The second thing, Viet An, in your overview paragraph, okay, you have described what each line is, but you haven't told me what information it is revealing to us. All right, so you've talked about the lines on the graph, but you haven't actually said what information the lines on the graph actually mean. I will show you how this works when I look at some of the others. So remember, this has to be an overview paragraph of the most important piece of information. And here, Viet An, you have done the right thing, but just some of the words are not quite correct, where you look at the detail of what is happening with each of these lines. So in summary, Viet An, this first sentence here needs to be a paraphrase of the title. You cannot just copy the title. This paragraph here needs to be an overview of what is the main story the graph is telling us. You have said what each line means, but you haven't actually told me what the story is. Okay, Bao Ling. Can you hear me, Bao Ling?
Yes.
Okay, Bao Ling. So yes, you've done your paraphrase. The graph below demonstrates number of tourists traveling to. I don't think you don't even need the word particular here, Bao Ling. Okay, you can leave that out.
Yes.
Doesn't matter. Just say traveling to a Caribbean island is fine. Okay. Okay, so you've got the 4 paragraphs. That's good, Bao Ling. Here in your overview, so everyone, please remember your overview, the best word to start it with is this, overall. overall. There is another phrase you can start it with, which I will remind you of very shortly. But if you only want to remember one, just remember this one that Bao Ling has used, overall. Overall. Always start your second paragraph, your overview paragraph, with overall or a phrase which is similar. And as I say, I will show you that in just a moment. The other one you can use. Overall, the number of people visiting the Caribbean, this should be island, Bao Ling. Overall, the number of people visiting the island increased over the whole period. And the visitors staying on the island was much higher than visitors staying on cruise ships. What that actually did, I think, Bao Ling, is change. Yeah, I think in the overview, you need to make some reference to the fact that it changed over the last couple of years. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so you can see here, for the first 5 years, the number of people staying on the island was higher than the number of visitors staying on cruise ships. But in the last couple of years, that changed. So that's what you need to stay in your second sentence, all right? But you have the right idea. You have the structure is correct, Bao Ling. Okay, and the rest of this is okay. All right, the detailed paragraphs are okay, Bao Ling. Any questions? Okay, Kian, can you hear me, Kian?
Yes.
Okay, Kian, so first of all, you need to have 4 paragraphs, okay? Remember, 4 paragraphs.
Okay.
You have only 3. So really, so this here should be your second paragraph here. Okay, see how I've changed it? All right, so this needs to be a separate paragraph. Even I know it's only 1 sentence, but still needs to be a separate paragraph. Okay, so this is your paraphrase. The graph, okay, illustrates, needs an S on the end. Also this, tourists is plural, needs to have an S on the end. All right. This one here, it shows visitors who stay. So what you have, again, you have done the same thing that Viet Ang did. Okay, you have said what each graph, what each line is, but you haven't told me the story that it is telling. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, Kian?
Okay.
If we look here at what Bao Ling has done, she has told me a story of what the lines are showing. What you have done is you've just told me what each line is. Okay, so I don't need to know this. Okay, I don't need to know that this line means visitors on cruise ships and this means visitors on the island. I want to know what information or what story the graph is telling me. Does that make sense, Kian?
I think in the last paragraph I say something about
You do. Yes, you do. You do. But that should be, that information should be here. All right.
all right.
It should be in your second paragraph, that information. And when I say overview, remember last time, we will go over this again shortly, I talked about pretend you are trying to write a newspaper headline for this graph. So you need to pick out what is the main point this graph is telling us. So the main point I can see straight away this graph is telling us is, firstly, that over the 5 years, the number of tourists visiting the island has increased. Okay, Kian?
Okay.
I can see that straight away, looking at the graph. I can see straight away the number has gone up. All right, so that is number 1, my overview point. And number 2, as I was saying before to Bao Ling, the number of people who stay on cruise ships has overtaken the number of people who stay on the island. Does that make sense, Kian?
Okay.
Okay, so that is the sort of information you put in your second paragraph. Okay, an overview. So you look at the graph and you think straight away, what story does this graph tell me? What has happened? Okay, so everyone, that is the main thing to remember. All right, your second paragraph, your overview, needs to be a headline that describes what is happening in the graph in just 1 or 2 sentences. And again, as I say, you can see easily looking at this graph. This is why I picked this graph, by the way, because it's easy straight away to see what is happening. You can see straight away the number of tourists visiting the island has increased in 5 years. And the second point, the number of people staying on the island has got bigger than the number of people staying on cruise ships. Whereas here, it was the other way around. So those are the 2 headlines. Please ask me or ask Mrs. Ha as this does not make sense. This is important. This is what you must do for your overview paragraph. And then in the detail is okay, Kian. All right, the detail, you have got the right idea. All right, you just made some spelling mistakes. Any questions, Kian? Hello, Kian. Yeah, any questions, Kian, about what I've just said?
Kiên ơi, Kiên bật mic lên và Kiên dí cái mic gần vào đi. I don't know what happened.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Mrs. Ha. All right, Phung Ling. Actually, I don't think Phung Ling is here today, is she? I just realized she's not here. Okay, Phung Ni. Phung Ni.
Yes.
Hi, Phung Ni. Okay. So, have you been listening to what I've just been saying, Phung Ni, to the others? Good. Okay. Does it make sense to you, Phung Ni, what I've been saying?
Yes, I understand.
Good. All right. So this is good, Phung Ni. So straight away, you have done a correct paraphrase. Okay, good. All right, your overview. Okay, that is good, Phung Ni. Okay, I can change some of these words to express it a little bit better, but you have got the right idea, Phung Ni. Okay, good. And looking at the rest of this, yeah. Okay, so everybody, please look at what Phung Ni has done. So Phung Ni has got the correct structure. Okay, so she's got the paraphrase, she has the overview, which remember is the main story the graph is telling us, and then she has 2 detail paragraphs. This word here, Phung Ni, very good. This word here you have written. What is this word, Phung Ni?
It's like the verb of option.
Yeah, opted. Well, what does can you give me a synonym, Phung Ni, so the others can understand?
It's like they decide to stay.
Yeah, they decide. Thank you, Phung Ni. It's a synonym. Thank you. They decide or chose. Choose. Okay, so opted, everyone. Good word for everyone to learn. Thank you, Phung Ni. Thank you for showing us this word. Okay, opted is a synonym meaning you choose something. I opted to have banh mi for lunch, not pizza. I chose to have banh mi for lunch, not pizza. Okay, so opted is another synonym. Please try to store this in your vocabulary to mention in the future. No, I couldn't hear you before, by the way, Kian. I've just seen your message, so I couldn't hear you. So that's good, Phung Ni. You have the right idea. Thank you. Kang Ling, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Again, you have the right structure, Kang Ling. I would not use the word in general, okay, to start a paraphrase. this is not really a suitable word to use for the paraphrase. You can use this later on in the essay for sure, okay, but not here. So all you are doing is just a paraphrase. And what you have done is you have, instead of having the paraphrase in your first paragraph, this is almost like an overview. Okay.
Yes,
so
I realize that I don't have
so yeah, you understand now? You understand what you should do? Yeah. Okay. So almost, yeah. So your first paragraph should always be a paraphrase of the title. And again, just in case anyone is confused, this, everyone, this here is the title. Okay. So your first paragraph is always a paraphrase of this. Always. So, Kang Ling, so you have done your overview as your first paragraph. All right. And then again, then you've done the detail, okay, which is fine. These are detail paragraphs, but to make your fourth paragraph, you don't, this in task 1, you never need a conclusion, Kang Ling, okay? Never. In fact, this structure is what makes task 1 so easy to do, because the structure is always the same, always. So you never need any conclusion, never.
Okay.
Okay, so your first paragraph is always a paraphrase. Second paragraph is always an overview, and then just 2 detail paragraphs, no conclusion. That's all you need. Okay, try me, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so try me, you've done your paraphrase. I'll just quickly correct it. You've got, you don't need to say line graph, try me, okay? Don't need to say, just graph will do, just graph. The graph illustrates, you need to have some qualifier around here. The graph illustrates tourists to an island. What are the tourists doing to the island, Trami?
Yes.
What are the tourists doing to an island? This phrase here doesn't make sense.
The number of tourists.
Yes, the number of tourists.
Traveling to an island.
Yes, Trami, yes, you know this, okay? Yes, that's what you need to say, Trami, okay? This here phrase doesn't make sense, okay? Tourists to an island, okay? You need to write what you have just told me is correct. All right, over a period of 7 years, yes, the rest is fine. Okay, overall, good. So again, please remember, everyone, start your second paragraph, okay, which is your overview paragraph. Start it with overall. You can do this always. And again, this, as what I was saying before to Kang Ling, makes task 1 not so difficult, because the structure is always the same and you can use the same words, no matter whether it's a graph or a table or a chart. So you can always start your second paragraph with overall, always. The total visitors, this doesn't make sense, sorry, Trami, was the predominance, okay? That word doesn't make sense in this sentence. This is the important part, which you have got, okay? Overall, the total number of visitors showed an upward trend over the period. Does that make sense, Trami?
Yes.
Overall, the total number of visitors showed an upward trend over the period. Okay, this one is correct. This is good, and this trend was mirrored. That's good, Trami. That's good. Okay, was mirrored by both the figures for visitors staying on the island and on cruise ships. Okay, so this is good, Trami. Okay, this one is perfect. Don't need to change that. Okay, so it's just the first part of this. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, and I think now you have gone into the details, which is correct. Okay, but I think in your last paragraph, too much detail. Okay, too much. All right, remember you only need to write, actually, did you count how many words? Try me.
It's about 200 words.
Yeah, too many. Okay, too many. How many words should it be, Trami?
150.
Correct. Okay, so you have overwritten by 25%. Okay, which is
Yeah.
not good. You don't get any extra marks for that. Okay, they
Yes.
only want 150. Okay, if you write 250 words, they don't care. All right, you won't get any extra words. So please save yourself time and effort. Only write 150.
Yes.
Okay, so this paragraph here is too long. All right, so just the main detail, just the main one, not every detail, just the main one. Okay, thank you, Trami. Okay, Tran Bao.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Tran Bao. So have you heard what I've said to the other students?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so does that make sense now?
Yes.
So always with your paragraphs, remember you need 4 paragraphs. Always between every paragraph, you need to have a space, always. All right, to show it as a separate paragraph, like that, like I have just done for you. Okay, and your paraphrase here, you don't need to say given line, okay? That can go. Okay, the graph, that's all you need to say. The graph shows how many visitors traveled to a Caribbean island over the course of 7 years, starting from 2020. Okay, that is all you need to say. All right, for that one. For your overview, can you remember what word I just said to start this with? Can you remember?
Overview.
What can you see what I'm typing? Can you see what I'm typing, Tran Bao?
Yes. Overall or over.
Yes, overall. Please always start your paragraph with this word. Okay? Okay, always. Like I say, there is another phrase I will show you which you can use, but if you only want to remember one way to start this paragraph, use this word. Okay, and please, everyone, I hope you are still listening and paying attention to this. Always start your second paragraph with this word, overall. Overall. Okay, you can't go wrong with this word. So always use this word at the start. Overall. Okay, so because I'm using overall, Tran Bao, okay, I can delete this. All right, overall, the number of tourists visiting increased during the whole period. Okay, you have correctly identified the headline, Tran Bao, good. Okay, you have the correct information. Okay, that's good. And then I think maybe you just need a little bit more detail. A little bit more detail in this paragraph. And please, with a word like million, you do have to write out the whole word. Okay. So this must be, okay, 1 million.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't write ML as an abbreviation for this essay. You have to write 1 million. All right. So any questions, Tran Bao?
No, I don't have any question.
Okay, good. All right, I'll stop sharing this with you just at the moment. Kang Ling, you are looking half asleep. Sorry, I'm putting you to sleep. Sorry. So everyone, again, please remember, because this is important, and we're going to do this right now, okay? How many paragraphs, Kian? How many paragraphs does a task 1 answer need to have? How many?
4. 4.
4, correct. 4 paragraphs. Knock 2. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, knock 2. We use the acronym pot to help us remember how to structure our answer. Okay, we use pot. What does pot stand for? What does the P stand for? What does the P stand for?
Paragraph.
Paraphrase.
Paraphrase.
Paraphrase. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Tran bao.
Yes.
Okay. We're talking about pot. Okay. Pot. So the P in pot, remember, helps us remember how to structure our answer for task 1. Okay. So the P in pot stands for paraphrase. Okay.
Okay.
What does the O stand for?
Overview.
Yes, good. Overview. Okay. P, paraphrase. O, overview. And Kang Ling, what does the T stand for?
Is to detail paragraph.
2 detailed paragraphs. Great. Okay. So please remember this, everyone. Okay. This will help you answer this question easily every time. So what we are going to do now is, and I'm sorry, as I say, the fan is on here, so it keeps blowing all my papers away. I'm going to just share with you another piece of information, and then I'm going to get you to start writing again, and so I can correct you as you go. And please, by the way, if anyone has any questions about this, please remember to ask me. So again, I will remind you of some of the words and phrases you should know to help you answer task 1. All right, so these words here, okay, are words you should all have as part of your vocabulary. And vocabulary, remember, means written words, not just spoken words. All right. These are all synonyms you can use as part of your paraphrase. Okay, so the graph, Bao Ling. Bao Ling.
Yes.
Okay, Bao Ling, can you please read all the synonyms for me, please?
Yes. Show, illustrate, describe, demonstrate, and review.
Good. Okay, so try me.
Yes.
Okay, can you please take one phrase or word from this line and put it together with one word from this line? Okay, any one. Choose any one.
Yes.
Yeah.
The table describes.
Good. Okay. Feng Ni.
Yes.
Okay, Feng Ni, can you do another one, please? Did you hear what Tra Mi just did?
Sorry, I can't hear.
Okay, so please pay attention. So please choose, these are all synonyms. Okay, these are all synonyms. So please choose one word from this line and put it together with another word from this line. Okay.
The map describe.
Good. Okay. Viet Ang.
Teacher.
Yep. Can you do the same thing, please?
What?
Okay, please, everyone, please pay attention to what I'm trying to show you here. So Viet An, okay, you need to take one word from this line, okay,
Yes.
and choose one synonym from this line, okay?
Okay, the map illustrates.
Good, okay, Kian.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, do you know what I want you to do?
Okay. And the graph shows.
Good. Kang Ling.
And the map describe.
Good. Nok Tu.
The diagram demonstrates.
Good. Tran bao.
The graph show.
Good. Bao ling.
The chart illustrates.
Good. Okay, I'm keeping going. Tra mi.
The chart illustrates.
Okay. Fung ni.
The diagram illustrates.
Okay. Viet Ang.
The chart describe.
Good. Okay, so that's good, everyone. So these are the words that you just need to remember for your paraphrase. Shows, illustrates, describes, demonstrates, reveals. They all mean the same thing, and they can all go with any of these words. And they are very useful words for your paraphrase. If you know these, then you don't have to think in the exam about which word to use. Okay, so please write these down if you don't know them already and learn them. As I was saying, the second sentence of your task 1 answer is always an overview. And as I was saying before, you should always start your overview with this word, overall, overall. But the other phrase that you can use, if you don't want to use overall for some reason, you say this one. It can be clearly seen that. It can be clearly seen that. Okay, so this phrase and this word both mean exactly the same thing. Viet Ang, does that make sense to you?
Yes, teacher.
Good. Okay, so please always, from now on, okay, I want to see, whenever we do this exercise, I want to see you starting your second paragraph with either overall or it can be clearly seen that. Okay, they are the only things you need to know to start this paragraph. All right. And again, these are just adjectives that it is very useful to learn. They are very useful to learn. So how you can describe what is happening in a graph or a table or a chart. Kian.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, Kian, can you please read the first 4?
Rise.
Yeah, rises, rises.
Increases.
Next one, please. Increases. Yeah, next one.
Climbs.
Yeah, and the next one.
Goes up.
Good. Okay, so these ones all mean something, well, goes up, increases, climbs up. Okay, they are all synonyms for the same thing, but they are all words that you need to know. Rises, increases, climbs up, goes up. Okay, means something goes that way. A graph or a chart, okay, or a table, the figures on a table, they increase, they climb, they go up. And the opposite, knock 2. Knock 2.
Yes.
Can you please read the ones that mean to go down?
Fall, decrease, decline, drop, goes down.
Correct. Thank you, knock 2. Okay, so again, these are words you all need to know how to describe when you see a line falling. All right, and tran bao, tran bao.
Yes, I'm here.
Can you please read for me the words that mean something doesn't change?
Doesn't change. Remains at the same level and remain stable.
Good. Okay, so again, all these 3 phrases are synonyms for each other. They all mean exactly the same thing, but it is good to learn them all because then you can show the examiner, the person who was marking your paper, how wide your vocabulary is, that you can think of words for describing the same thing in several different ways. This is important if you want to get a good score. The rest of these ones are easy, I hope, for you now. The highest point of a graph is a peak. The lowest part of a graph is the lowest point. All right. Change happens rapidly or quickly or gradually or steadily. This describes the speed of change. Okay, are there any questions about those phrases? Again, these are all words and phrases you need to know to answer task 1 correctly. All right, and the last thing I'm going to share with you before you actually start some writing. Okay. Right, you should be able to see here now the task 1 answer checklist. Okay, so these are things that your answer needs to contain if you want to get a good score. Kang Ling.
Yes.
Okay, Kang Ling, can you please read introduction, please?
Okay, introductions. Does your paraphrase mean the same as the question prompt? Is it grammatically correct? KIS, kids.
Good, okay, and what does KIS stand for?
Kids is simple.
Correct. Keep it simple, everyone, okay? Remember, you can still use simple words and get a good score. You don't have to use complicated words. You don't have to. It is good, obviously, if you know the complicated and formal words, then of course use them. But if you are not sure, just use simple words and you can still get a good score. All right, so the introduction, your paraphrase must mean the same thing as the question prompt. Okay, thank you, Kang Ling. Bao Ling.
Yes.
Okay, can you please read overview, please?
Overview. That is start with overall. Have you include any data? Don't. Have you include 2 to 4 key features? Are these features the most significant? Have you made comparison when reviewing?
Where relevant. Okay.
Relevant.
Okay. Have you made comparisons where relevant means have you compared something if it is useful to mention this? That's what relevant means. Is it useful? Have you included any data? You can see I've written here, in fact, I should make this bold. In your overview, don't include any figures. I'll say that again, in your overview, don't include any figures. They come in your detail paragraphs. All you want in your overview is just a description of the main features, 1 or 2. Remember in the graph we were just looking at, the first main feature was the number of visitors going to the island had gone up. And the second main feature was the number of people who stayed on ships had increased over the number of people who stay on the island. Now you notice in that description, I haven't said any figures at all. You don't need to. In your second paragraph, no figures, just a description of what is happening. The figures come in your detail paragraphs. Okay, try me.
Yes.
Can you please read detail paragraphs?
Is the information clear and logical? Have you included the most significant information? Is the data accurate? And have you made comparisons where relevant?
Good, thank you, Trami. Does that make sense to you, Trami?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so these are just common sense things. Okay, is the information you are using, is it clear and logical? Obviously, is the data accurate? Are you writing the correct figures down? All right, and finally, the whole essay, Fung Ni.
Yes. The whole essay, are your paragraph clear and easy to identify? Have you followed the structure? Have your writing between 115 to 200 words? Is spelling, vocabulary, and grammar accurate? 50% of mark.
Thank you, Fung Ni. Okay, so it's important to remember that spelling, vocabulary, and grammar make up 50% of the marks for this. 50% of the marks. So you need to have a little bit of time at the end of writing to go back and check these. Have you written between 150, 200 words? I still think having 150 is the target. Okay, 200 really is too many. Too many. So the closer you can get to 150, the better. It doesn't have to be exactly 150, of course. Okay, 160 is fine, 161, but as long as it is close to 150, better. Are your paragraphs clear and easy to identify? Viet Ang.
Yes.
How many paragraphs for task 1?
4.
4, correct. Okay, and what is the structure, Viet Ang? What is the structure?
It pot.
P-O-T, yes. And what does POT stand for?
It paraphrase.
Yes.
Overview and
Yes.
too detail.
Okay, very good, Viet Ang. Well done. Excellent. Good work. Okay, everyone. So, enough talking from me. Now it is time for you to do some writing. Tra mi, your little symbol, very sad. Okay. Let me share this with you again. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to start writing an answer to this graph. Okay, I will share this with you in just a moment, but we will do this step by step. Okay, so the first thing I want everyone to write about is a paraphrase. But let me go through this in detail, all right, to make this even easier for you. So remember, everyone, that this is what is called the question prompt. Sometime I will put this in chat, because sometimes students see this and they say, what does this mean? Okay, all it means, okay, this sentence here, which you always get at the start of a task 1 question, is known as the question prompt. Okay, the question prompt. And this, of course, is what you paraphrase. So what we are all going to do now is we are going to do a paraphrase of the question prompt. So I'm going to share this with you all now, and I want you to write a paraphrase for me, please. At this stage, you don't need to know anything about the information in the graph. All you need to do is to be able to write a paraphrase of the question prompt. Okay, so can you please all start writing your paraphrase? And in case you've forgotten, you should all be able to click on the link that I've just sent you in chat. So this is a chance now to see if you remember some of those words that I showed you before. Words such as illustrates, demonstrates. Maybe you should be thinking, what is a synonym I can use instead of shops? What is a synonym I can use instead of closed? Is there a synonym I can use instead of one country? maybe there isn't. Remember, always you are trying to keep this simple. And of course, this is only the paraphrase, so you don't want to spend too much time on it. You have 20 minutes overall for the question. So the paraphrase should only take up a little bit of that 20 minutes. And of course, remembering to keep it simple. If you can't think of a paraphrase word, then don't worry, okay? Just use the word that is already there, because the paraphrase is not the most important part of this essay. Okay, just another couple of minutes to do this. Okay, one more minute, everyone. Okay, let me see who has finished. Kang Ling, have you finished? Hello, Kang Ling.
Yes, I done.
Hi, have you finished, Kang Ling?
Yes.
Okay, let's have a look. Can you read it for me, please?
The graph demonstrates the number of store closings and openings in a single country from 2011 to 2018.
Okay, so a quick way of saying this, Kang Ling, is 2011.
Yes.
Okay, 2011.
Sorry,
Okay, 2011 is fine. That is still correct, but most native speakers will say 2011. All right, it's quicker. 2011, 2018. That's great, Kang Ling. Okay, that's a great paraphrase. Okay, just one little mistake, Kang Ling. Tiny mistake. One. Can you see it?
Single.
Just one.
This one.
It's here.
Yes, in single, but why?
Okay, so should be this, Kang Ling. This.
In a single.
In a single country. Okay.
Okay.
This, Kang Ling, by the way, is very good. You got this perfectly correct. Okay, I thought this would be a little bit difficult, but this is perfect. Closings and openings. You are correct. It is plural. Well done. Okay, that's good, Kang Ling. Excellent. Trami.
Yes.
Okay, Trami, can you read me your answer, please?
The graph illustrates the amount of shop closures and openings in a nation over a period from 2011 to 2018.
Good. The graph illustrates the amount. Number is probably better, Trami. Amount in this context doesn't quite work. Okay. When I say doesn't quite work, in that it's not usually used. All right. So you normally talk about a number of shop openings and closings, not an amount of shop openings and closings. Amount usually applies to something like, well, not shop openings and closings anyway. You talk about an amount of money. Okay, you don't talk about a number of money. All right. So the same things when it comes to something like shops. You don't talk about an amount of shops, you talk about a number of shops.
Yes.
So the collocation should be number of shops, not amount of shops. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, the same as the collocation is amount of money, not number of money. But apart from that, it's perfect, Trami. Well done. Okay, Phung Ni.
Describe how many shops that closed and new shops that opened over 8 years started from 2011 in one country.
Okay, pretty good, Phung Ni. I just made a couple of changes. How many shops? Okay, you don't need that. All right. This graph describes how many shops closed, and again, you really need to say how many. Okay. And this one, not started, Phung Ni. What should it be? Not started, a different form of the word. Same word, different form.
Sorry, I have no idea.
Okay, should be this. Starting. Okay, I know it can be a little bit confusing because you're thinking, starting is present tense. Okay, started is past tense. It's 2011, should be past tense. Okay, unfortunately, that reasoning doesn't work in this sentence. Okay, so it needs to be starting from 2011 or 2011. So again, it is a collocation, Phung Ni, that you always use starting from, no matter whether the date is in the past or it is in the present or it is in the future. Okay, so starting from 1995, starting from 2023, starting from 2030. Okay, the collocation is always starting when you are using a date. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so you never use started, just use starting all the time. But that's good, Phung Ni. The rest of that is correct now. Bao Ling.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Just.
The graph reveals the number of store closures and openings in one country between the years of 2011 and 2018.
Okay, Bao Ling. Perfect. Okay, no corrections, Bao Ling. That is correct. Well done. Viet Ang.
Yes.
Please read your answer, Viet Ang.
This graph describes the number of shops which close and the number of new shops which open in one country from 2011 to 2018.
Okay, very good, Viet Ang. Okay, so your writing is perfect, Viet Ang. Okay, very good. Just remember to pronounce these figures, you say 2011. 2011 to 2018. Can you say that for me, please, Viet Ang?
2011 to 2018.
Correct. Perfect. 2011 to 2018. You can say 2011 to 2018, but that's too long. Okay. Most people will say 2011 to 2018, but the rest of it is great. Knock 2.
Yes. The graph reveal the number of shops that closed and the number of new shops that opened in one country between 2011 and 2018.
Okay, 2011 and 2018, knock 2. Okay, 2011,
yes.
2018. Okay, the rest of it is good, knock 2. No mistakes. That's great. I'm glad you are keeping it simple, knock 2. That's good, and I'm glad, so knock 2, and you use this correctly as well. The graph reveals. Excellent.
Thank you, teacher.
Very good. Tran Bao.
Yes, I'm here. The graph reveals the number of shops that close and the number of the new shops that open in one country in years 2011 and 2018.
Okay, just a couple of small mistakes, Tran Bao. Okay, we are talking more than one shop here. Okay, so what does this word need?
Have a letter S.
Yes, correct. Okay,
Yeah.
so it needs to be this, shops, and same here. Okay, we need to be plural because we are talking about more than one shop. So it needs to be shopped. Okay, and there is a word missing here, Tran Bao. Do you know what it is? A small word. Okay, it is this. Needs to be this.
In the years.
Yeah, can you see, Tran Bao, what I have done?
Yes, I see.
Yeah, this word here, in the years. Has to be, need to have a the in there. Otherwise, it is correct, Tran Bao. That's good. Okay, Kian.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, please read me your answer.
And this paragraph illustrates the number of shops that close and the number of new shops that open in one country between 2011 and 2018.
Okay, that is correct, Kian. Well done. Excellent. Okay, so that's good, everyone. So you've all done the paraphrase correctly, and I am pleased to see that you have kept it simple. The only thing I might have changed is shops. Kang Ling.
Yes.
Can you think of a synonym for shops?
Store.
Yeah. Can you think of one? Or not?
Maybe store.
Stores you could
Yeah.
use. Yes, stores. Okay, everyone. So stores. I'll put it in chat. Okay, stores is one synonym you could use for shops. All right. There is another one I could possibly use. Trami.
Yes.
Can you think of another synonym? The one I'm thinking begins with B.
I don't have any ideas.
This one. Businesses. I could maybe use that as a synonym. Okay, although businesses doesn't just mean shops, of course. Businesses can mean restaurants, cafes, department stores, service stations where you buy petrol. All right, so businesses isn't quite so accurate, but stores is. So everyone, stores is a synonym you could use instead of shops. But otherwise, everyone kept it simple, so that's very good, everyone. Okay, so you know what I'm going to ask you to do now is, of course, write the overview. Viet An.
Yes.
Looking at the overview paragraph, what word should you start your answer with? What word?
Overall.
Correct. Well done, Viet An. I'm glad you were paying attention. So remember now, this, everyone, is the most important paragraph of the task 1 essay. Okay, this is the one you get the most marks for. So you need to get this correct. Everything else, the detailed paragraphs and the paraphrase, are easier. Because the detailed paragraphs, all you are doing is describing what the figures, what the lines are doing. The paraphrase, all you are doing is rewriting the question prompt, as we have just done. But this one, you have to know how to interpret or tell the story of the graph. So please, everyone, just have a quick look at this. The first thing we need to do is we need to work out what each axis is telling us. So, Tran Bao.
Yes, I know.
Tran Bao, this is the x-axis, okay? This line here. Does you understand that?
Yes, I understand.
Yeah, this is the x-axis. What is the x-axis measuring?
Can you say that again?
What does the x-axis measure on this graph? You can see the numbers here, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. What are they? 1,000 what?
They are the number of the shop.
Correct. Good. So the x-axis measures the number of shops. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good. Okay. So remember, before we know how to read a graph, we must look at what each axis measures. So as Tran Bao has just told us, the x-axis measures the number of shops. Knock 2.
Yes.
Okay. What does the y-axis measure?
Measure of year.
Correct. Measures the number of years. Okay, so the x-axis, yeah, very easy. Thank you, Noctu. So the y-axis, sorry, measures the number of years. The x-axis measures the number of shops. So now we know that, we can start to read the story of the graph. Bao Ling.
Yes.
Okay, can you tell me one thing the graph is telling us?
The graph telling us the number of the shop close and open from each year to from 2011 to 2018.
It does, but you need to tell me a little bit more than that, darling. It does, that's what the graph is showing, but what is actually happening over that period of time? So in this period of time, in these 7 years from 2011 to 2018, what has happened to shops? That's what I want to know. And that is what we need to know for this paragraph. You can see you can see straight away something serious has happened.
Like the closure and opening is decreased.
Not quite, not quite. Try me.
Yes.
Okay, try me.
I can see the fluctuations on the period.
Okay, there are fluctuations, but there is more than that. Fluctuations is a small part of this story. What is the major part of this story?
The number of store closures are significantly decreased into 1,000.
Close. So remember, for this, we don't have, for this paragraph, no figures, okay? No figures, no data. I just want to know overall what is happening. You are on the right track. Try me. Fung Ni.
Yes.
Okay, Fung Ni, what do you think is happening? What is the story in this graph?
I think
Any idea, Phung Ni?
No, sorry.
Okay, okay, all right. Kang Ling.
Maybe both of number of shop close and opening after 7 years. Both decrease, right?
That is true, but it's not the main part of the story. So remember, everyone, okay, I'll make this a bit easier. Remember, everyone, you are trying to think of like a newspaper headline or an online headline for this graph. So the main thing I can see here, Kang Ling, I will ask you, seeing I can still see your picture on the screen, Kang Ling. So straight away, the main thing I can see is this. All right, something has happened here. Okay. Yeah, what has happened, Kang Ling? What has happened here?
The number of shop closures had a significant drop as a lowest point in 2015.
Correct. Okay, good, Kang Ling. Good. Okay, so everyone, this is the main part of the story. All right. In 2015, I know I did say before no figures in this, but you can mention dates. Okay, dates is different from figures. In 2015, okay, the number of shop closures dropped significantly. In 2015, the number of shop closures dropped significantly. Why? We don't know. And it doesn't matter. The graph doesn't show us that. So we don't need to say why. All we need to do is show that we are reading the graph correctly. Does that make sense, Kang Ling?
Yes.
Okay, so everyone, the main part of this story is, number one, in 2015, there was a major or significant drop in shop closures. As I said, it doesn't matter why. We don't know why. The graph doesn't tell us why. And because it doesn't tell us, we don't need to write about it. We don't need to think about that. All we need to do is notice it. All right. Kian.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, what is the second thing we can notice from this graph? Okay, and here I'm kind of looking at here as compared to here. So I'm looking at what is happening in 2018 compared to what happened in 2011.
The new shop opened.
Yes, go on.
From decrease from 8,000.
No figures, Kian. Okay, remember, no figures for this. Dates are okay, but no figures for this paragraph. Okay, knock two.
Yes.
Okay, what happened? Compare 2018 to 2011, please.
2018 and 2011.
Yeah. What is the difference?
His go down. Up. Teacher.
Yes, I can hear you.
The opening or the close. Teacher.
You're getting close, yeah.
Close is the close is it's increases a little bit increase.
Okay, you're getting the idea. And I'll just give this to you quickly now. So what happened, everyone, in 2018 compared to 2011, in that in 2018, the number of shops that closed was more than the number of shops that opened. Does that make sense, Noctu?
Yes.
Okay, you can see in 2011, more shops opened, okay, this line here, than closed. More shops opened than closed in 2011. But in 2018, it was the opposite. More shops, sorry, other way around. More shops opened than closed here. In 2018, more shops closed than opened. Does that make sense, Noctu?
I understand. I was understand.
Okay, so I'll say it again so everyone understands. So you can see here in 2011, more shops opened than closed. Okay, more shops opened than closed, but here in 2018, it was the opposite. More shops closed than opened. So, Kang Ling,
Yes.
what are the two things to write about in your overview?
Maybe
What is the first one? So again, just looking at the graph, what is the first one?
error.
Looking here at the graph, what happens here? Kang Ling, look at here.
Yes, I have a significant drop
Yes. In what? In what? What dropped?
in 2015.
Yeah, but what? Yeah, what dropped?
The number of shop closes.
Good. That is point number one. Good. What is point number two?
As in 2011, the number of shop opening is more than the number of shop closes. But
Yes.
after 7 years, it changed. The number of shop close is more than opening.
Good. Excellent. Those are the 2 points. Good, Kang Ling. That is exactly that. Okay, everyone. And that is what you are going to write in your overview. So I hope this makes sense to everyone. Viet Ang.
Yeah, teacher.
Okay, Viet Ang. So does this make sense to you for the overview? You can
Yes.
see in 2015, okay, there was a significant drop in the number of shops that closed. Okay, in 2015, you can see there is a significant drop in the number of shops that closed. That is point number one. Point number two is in 2011, more shops opened than closed, but in 2018, more shops close than open. Does that make sense, Viet Nam?
Yeah.
Great.
Teacher.
Okay, everyone. So this is your homework for the next week, everyone, is just to write an overview. This is all I want. Okay, just the overview paragraph. Knock two.
Yes.
What word does the overview paragraph start with?
Oh, it's a word overall.
Correct, everyone. So I want you to see your paragraph start with either overall or the other phrase I showed you, it can be clearly seen that. It can be clearly seen that. Okay, so please start your answer. You must start your answer with one of those two, either overall or it can be clearly seen that. All right, so this is your homework for next time, and we will check that in the next lesson. Bao Ling, does this make sense for you?
Yes.
Great. Okay, so all I want, everyone, is an overview paragraph. 2 sentences. Shouldn't take you long, should only take you 5 minutes. So not much homework. All right. 2 sentences starting with overall or it can be clearly seen that. Are there any questions? Okay, everyone, thank you for coming to the lesson this morning. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I hope you have a great week. And I look forward to seeing you all, seeing all your smiling faces next week. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye mọi người nhá.
Bye.
Yeah, chào
Bye.
con. Chào con.